Hello everyone. Let's dive into fascinating world of Dada film. Today I'm going to explore how two really innovative artists, Hans Richter and Man Ray, used film to push the boundaries what Dada art could be. We will see how they took movement in some really interesting direction. So these are my academic informations, table of content, research question. How do the film of Heinz Richten and Man Ray expand our understanding of Dada's artistic and philosophical expressions beyond nihilism? Hypothesis. The film of Heinz Richter and Man Ray demonstrate that Dada's artistic expression were diverse and multifaceted, incorporating exploration of universal language, machine aesthetic, and American perspective, in addition to expressing nihilist view. So, introduction. Everyone have a question that what is the meaning of Dada? So, it is a movement in art and literature based on deliberate irrationality and negation of tradition artistic value. So when many people think of Dada, they picture this purely destructive, anti-art thing. But I think that paints uh, an incomplete picture. Dada was actually much more complex than that. Artists like Richter and Ray, for example, offered this really nuanced critique of modern society. They didn't just reject everything, they embraced certain aspects while questioning others. My goal is here to show you how their films contribute to a deeper influence of Dada's artistic and philosophical richness. I truly believe that by looking at these films, we can totally reevaluate Dada's relationship with modernity and sees its lasting impact on experimental films. Introduction to Hans Richter. He was an artistic polymath, a painter, filmmaker, and a writer. He became a central figure in Dada movement, particularly in Zurich. What I found fascinating is how Richard's artistic journey took him from expressionism, which is all about intense emotion, to Dada, which was this radical movement that questioned pretty much everything early on. He was experimenting with cubism and expressionism, but then in 1917 he started creating these visionary portraits using a really spontaneous, almost chance-based method. For him, Dada represented this incredible artistic freedom, and he really embraced the idea of chance as a key part of artistic expression. Hence, Richer, Dada roots and abstraction. Let's start with Richer's when he moved from expressionism to Dada in Zurich around 1916. He was really drawn to the ideas of chance and freedom. He saw this as the core of Dada, but even within Dada's apparent chaos, Richer was searching for some kind of order. This led him to structured abstraction and his concept of universal language, which actually set him apart from some of more purely anti-art Dadaist. He offended his abstract film like Rhythm 21 as being totally Dada, arguing that Dada could include exploring non-representational forms. Richard's work really challenges this idea that Dada was only about destruction. He shows us that it could be constructive and incredibly innovative. Next, Richard's vision of a universal language. Richard, along with Viking Egling, was fascinated by the idea of universal language. They believed that abstract forms could communicate across language and cultural barriers. His films like Rhythm 21 are a prime example of this. He used geometric shapes in motion to create visual rhythms that he hoped everyone could understand, regardless of where they came from. Richard's focus on abstraction connects him to the broader modernist movement, which was also exploring new ideas about form and perception. And Dada had a complex relationship with modernity. Reacher critiqued some aspects of it, but also embraced its potential for new forms of communication. Reacher's Dada philosophy. Uh, he saw Dada as a means of attaining a balance between heaven and hell, as a way to balance opposites. He saw constantly trying to reconcile chance and spontaneity with intention and order in his films. We can see it in his film Rhythm 21, where it has a basic pattern, but these surprising changes in how the shape and move and where they are placed. Reacher's structured abstraction is crucial because it expanded Dada's visual language while still staying true to some of its core principle. Introduction to main ray. He was born Immanuel Rednitsky in Philadelphia in 1890. And like Richard, he was incredibly versatile, a painter, sculptor, photographer, and filmmaker. He is the only American artist who was deeply involved in the Dada movement in both New York and Paris, as well as with the Surrealism. His artistic development was heavily influenced by artists like Stieglitz and Duchamp, and he was particularly fascinated by this aesthetic of machines and how everyday objects could be transformed into art. Interestingly, he adopted the name Main Ray around 1910, and it's thought that this was his way of kind of rejecting any specific cultural or ethnic background and embracing a more universal artistic identity. Main Ray, an American perspective. He was only American artist who was deeply involved in a New York Dada, Paris Dada, and Surrealism. This gave him a unique per- perspective. He rejected traditional ideas about art, society, and even sexuality. And he was all about experimentation and expressing himself across different mediums like painting, sculpture, photography, and film. He was influenced by artists like Stieglitz and Duchamp, and he was fascinated by machine aesthetic and the relation between art and everyday object. Main Ray's exploration of film. Main Ray started making film in the 1920s because he saw it as the perfect medium to explore his idea. His films expresses his attitudes toward Dada and Surrealism, and they allowed him to really define what he thought an artistic medium could do in terms of reflecting the possibilities and limitations of modern thought. His film De Litor e la Reason, which means Return to Reason, from 1923, is a great example of his experimental approach. He used camera-less techniques and everyday objects to challenge traditional ideas about what film should represent. Main ray celebrating the object. One of the more one of the defining characteristic of main ray's work is how he used everyday objects, transforming them into ready-mades. This object challenged traditional artistic value and forced people to see things in a new way. He also uh, incredibly fascinated by aesthetic of machines, and this is evident in all his art forms. Unlike Duchamp, who become more and more intellectual in his approach to art, Man Ray managed to balance this conceptual exploration with a genuine appreciation for the art object itself. And he reflects that American emphasis on practicality, usefulness, and finding beauty in the object. So, conclusion, Richard and Ray expanded the boundaries of Dada film, demonstrating its capacity for abstraction, exploring of universal language, and engagement with the aesthetic of machine. Main Ray's American perspective and focus on the utilitarian object contributed a unique dimension to Dada and Surrealism, bridging European avant-garde with American practicality. Dada's legacy, as seen through their films, lies in its diverse approaches and its ongoing challenge to traditional artistic norms and definitions. By moving beyond the concept of nihilism, the study of Dada film enriches our understanding of modern art and its continuing relevance. The cinematic contribution of Richard and Ray highlight Dada's multifaceted engagement with modernity and its enduring influence on film and art. These are my references. Thank you.